Hello everyone, welcome in. Today we're getting started with another Mauler tier list. And once again, the criteria is right here, what we're going to be grading. And today we're going to be doing Maulers. Mauler? Okay, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Yes. A quick disclaimer, Maulers are not my favorite kind of faction. In fact, they're one of my least favorites. Except for maybe like Hypogean, but we'll get to it. And it is mainly for appearance wise because they look more animal. I'm not saying I just don't like animals that much. Well, animal people, like amphro animals. Like those are, I don't know, they're not my favorite. So yes, the grading might be a little bit harsher, might be a little bit disproportional, but we'll get there. Picture, and we're gonna get started with the tiers. Alright, put myself over here. Okay, so yes, we're gonna start with Soren. He's the first on the list. This one actually is so far from alphabetical, it just started in the S's, so that's kind of funny. Okay, so we know Soren. He is one of the very first people we meet in, what is it? It's not called Ashen Wasteland, right? What is that season? What is that season called? Waves of Intrigue, Chains of Eternity? Is this part of the starter story? No, right? No, it's like Song of War Song. No, that's the festival. I don't know what season it is. I feel like that's pretty bad. I should figure it out, right? It's Song of Strife. Okay, yes, I remembered. Okay, so he's one of the first people we meet in Song of Strife, along with, what's her name? Alsa. And he's, okay, I actually really like their vibe together. I should look for her on the list, because I feel like it's fair to grade them together. Here. Okay, so I actually really like them together, because I feel like they have a really good balance going on. I feel like either one of these characters individually would irritate me, to be honest. Like, I don't like either of their personalities separately. But together, they make a really good balance. And you'll see that in Song of Strife. That's a cool name. It feels like something like Mabby. It kind of reminds me of Echo Stone. I wonder if there's something to do with Song of Strife in there. I don't know why I put them in S category. I don't know if I feel that way yet. I just want to make sure that they fit their little box. Okay. So if we think about Soren individually, he's kind of what's the word, like stoic, but that doesn't mean he's uncaring. He does care about his family and the Uru clan a lot. He just has, you know, like Raphael, he's cool but crude. I just feel like I feel like both of them go in A. And then Elsa is like really bubbly and she's really sweet, and together they kind of like play off of each other. So she'll like make jokes or kind of like translate for him, and then he's kind of like the anchor when she's like too bubbly, if that makes sense. So I like them together, but apart, not really so much. They really do have like a sweet brother-sister dynamic in the game as well. I feel like they're very sweet together. So just for anybody who doesn't know, these people are, so Soren and Elsa, even though they're very young, they're like the leaders of the Uru clan, which is like a clan of weaker Maulers. Yes. And they're adopted, so they're technically, well, they're siblings, but they're not related. Yeah, everyone in the Uru clan is basically like an abandoned, like just like a hodgepodge of every other Mauler. Next we have Riss, and I was thinking a lot about Riss actually before this video, because you know, when I make these videos I think about all of the people that are in that faction and how I feel about the faction overall, and Riss was one that I was thinking about, because he was with the quicksand claws, and he did objectively, like, that group was bad, but if we remember, he didn't actually do anything bad. In fact, he was very one track about the birds. So if Riss is the one who has that, like, I don't know, like when he does his little like thing in battle, he's like running around all over the screen, and his whole thing is birds. And you even what is the word? You heard birds in part of his quest. So I thought he was a really, so again, his personality is not necessarily my favorite, but I do like that he loves birds a lot. Even though he was with the bad guys, he wasn't really bad. He just wanted to be with the birds. Um, so his hyper focus was the birds and taking care of them. I know we're not factoring it in, but I do like his style on the battlefield, running around. I think it actually adds a little something, sort of like Lily May and Tassie. It's just like visually nice to look at. We're not factoring that in. His appearance actually is one of the not so bad ones. Like Soren, he looks more human than animal. Elsa too, but I don't know, her hair color kind of bothers me. I know it's a minor thing, but like her hair matches like her skin a little too much for my preference. But I feel like what's his face, Riss, has a good balance color wise. He's clearly human under all of the like the decorations and stuff. So I feel like he's a pretty good design. And Antandra is next. I feel like I should rate Antandra and Satrana together. But Satrana, I feel like she's kind of like an older version of Soren and Elsa, because she made an effort to protect the people of, I don't know if I'm gonna put her in S though. Like, we'll see. She's right now high A. I don't know. I feel like every Mauler is gonna go into A. No, I can't put Antandra higher than Soren and Elsa, because I feel like them being young and also being mature is like a huge plus for them, because I feel like it takes a lot of maturity to, I value maturity as a person. I just like maturity, loyalty, compassion, those kind of things. But the fact that they can have that kind of like understanding and ability even when they're younger is kind of nice. I like that. So yes. And they also stepped up to the plate because they're basically kids, reality wise, but they still go out of their way, even though they don't know where their next meal is gonna come from. They always try to help their clan. So I have to put Soren and Elsa above. Maybe am I crazy? Like, do I want to put them in the S category? Because, like I said, I don't really like them individually, but I feel like they do so much for the Uru clan. I feel like it would be a shame if I don't put them in S. I do like Antandra, I really do. And if you look at the Antandra Satrana like character trailers, gorgeous, 100%. Like I was in love. But I feel like, yes, I feel like I already praised Soren and Elsa enough. But yes. Okay, so Antandra, I was about to just completely gloss over how I feel about Antandra. I actually really do like Antandra. She's a little bit, I feel like she's literally just like a mixture of Soren and Elsa combined in one person. She has a very palatable personality. She's very like strong, mystique. And she was exiled at one point from where she was from. I forgot exactly where. But that's why Satrana was like looking for her, and they had like that relationship. I don't know exactly what that relationship is yet, but whatever it was, we need more of it. And then when they found Antandra again, she was like in that like oasis like area, and she was like protecting the people over there. One of them being Coco. I feel like she had a really good personality. I did wish that she talked a little bit more to Satrana before just like disappearing. I mean, she really didn't have much ability to, because she was exiled, like I said. So I don't know. It's a little bit complicated. I just feel like we need more about Antandra before I like make a final decision. I feel like I say that a lot. Okay, so next is Shakir. Shakira. I could be wrong, but isn't this the guy? I could be confusing him with Seth. But I feel like Seth was the one who, not Seth, Shakir. He was the one who challenged us like repeatedly. Was that Shakir or Seth? Oh, I don't remember. I feel like it was Shakira who kept like challenging us, but then we won. And then he like respected us. I feel like he was also on the bad guy side, or maybe like a marauder side. So he can't be S because I feel like he was our enemy at first. But then we won, and then he was kind of goofy about it. How Riz is kind of obsessed with birds, he's obsessed with like battle and power. So I thought that was kind of funny. Like I couldn't hate him when I saw him on the screen. I was just like, this man's goofy. So I do like him. I think he's funny, and he's more on the eccentric side, kind of like Kafra, but not like a bad dude. I don't know why Riz doesn't fit in his square. Like, are you guys seeing this? Look, he's underneath the square. And then if I try to put him up a little bit, he's too above his square, so that kind of bothers me. But we're gonna move on. Then next we have Seth. Again, I don't really remember this guy, to be honest. I feel like I guess to finish up what I was saying with Shakira is I think he's funny, and he's not necessarily a bad dude because I feel like he even like helps us at some point, like get to where we need to be. And he's always like, let's fight again next time. Seth, I feel like most of these people are actually not that bad. Should I put I have to put I'm thinking, should I put Shakira in B? Because he was technically a bad guy, right? Like a marauder, like that's definitely not good. I don't think I can in good faith put him in A, to be honest. I do like him and I do think he's funny, but I just feel like his interactions with some other characters, not necessarily like the player characters, I don't feel like it's necessarily good. So I'm gonna put him above Shakir. Not Shakir, Seth. And then Seth, he kind of like abandoned his morals, right? To be like on the dark side. If I remember that correctly from like his tale. I don't feel like I feel like he was also like a marauder. Right? Like, I don't remember. You know what? We're gonna have to come back to these two. I don't really remember their story too much. Next, we have Greta. Greta, we saw at the Ghostly Getaway. She's the manager. I'm just remembering how she took away Lawson's, like, bonus or something. I actually like her. I can't be mad at her. She did kind of low-key bully Lawson a little bit, but I do like her. I guess, do I like her more than Antandra? I kind of do, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't necessarily feel like it's fair to compare Antandra and Greta because their situations are so different. You know what I mean? Because in the Ashen Wastes, it's literally waste. Like, it's wasteland. There's not much there. So people are already at, like, what's the word for it? It's like, is it called the amygdala? Like the fight or flight response, you know, like everybody's already in fight or flight, you know. And I just feel like because Greta is not necessarily in that kind of situation, that we can't really compare her to someone who is, because their morals and their like standard is going to be a little bit different, because it's just like, it's kind of like wartime. People don't act the same in war compared to how they are outside of it when they're relaxed. So it's kind of hard to compare them. I think I do like Greta more than Riz though. Although Riz is kind of funny. I feel like these two are hard to compare. I feel like really in a different world, like these two would be kind of equal. Greta and Antandra. But you know what? I do value how Antandra like tries to protect her kind, and like not her kind, like her family, what she views as family, and protecting the younger people. So I feel like I do have to put her above Greta, even though I do like Greta. I think she's fun, but I feel like this is a fair rating. than Coco. I actually don't like Coco. I feel like it was too much. It was too much. Um, I can't put them below Shakira and Seth though. I feel like I have to put them in a high B. Did I crop it? It's fine. Wait, let me erase that. I feel like I cropped some of her head. I'm gonna put Coco. I just felt like Coco was really annoying. I know they're a kid, okay? I know they're a kid. But you know who else was a kid and kept it together? Soren and Elsa. I don't know. I know it's not necessarily fair to compare them to Coco because Coco's just drastically younger. I just felt like the timing wasn't everything. Because if we remember how we met Coco, it was, remember, Citrana was looking for Entendre because of the prophecy that was happening. So then when we found Entendre, then Entendre was like, oh, actually, I can't leave because I have my family here. And then one of the people was Coco, and then Coco was like, I'll never let you take Entendre. Like, first, chillax. Entendre is not property. She can make her own decision. And I get that, like, as a child, she would be, like, nervous that her like, friend and caretaker would be taken away. At the same time, I don't think it's necessarily right to like just be explosive. I don't know because Coco's like a kid, you know. Like I feel bad not liking Coco to be honest, because they're a kid. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Coco fan to be honest. I felt like that conversation, Coco should have been taken away. You know, not taken away, but like left to the side so that Citrana and Andrea could talk. Instead of being constantly interrupted by Coco. And yeah. Yes, so next on the list, Citrana. I know a lot of people don't like Citrana, but to be honest, maybe I'm swayed by the character trailer, but I love Citrana. I mean, I wouldn't say I love her, but I definitely like her and I like what she contributed to the season. I also do like her talent of divination, and I like how she did what she could. She did basically everything she could. Everything under the sun to try to find Entendre again. And I feel like that's really nice. Back to what I was saying about loyalty. I feel like Citrana definitely like qualifies for that. And we know that Entendre was exiled. However, Citrana wasn't. She left her nice, comfortable life wherever she was so that she could find Entendre again. And I don't know, I feel like I have to put her above Citrana. I'm not Citrana, but Entendre. Just because maybe can I put her in S? I'm trying to think. Is she S quality? I feel like she is because she was with us. She made an effort to help us always. She's very loyal. Next, Mikola. I love Mikola. I feel like we did her a little bit dirty with the character design, but if for anyone who doesn't know, I actually really like monkeys. I think they're so cute. Very intelligent. I also like Mikola's kind of like playful energy. Like if you saw her like her summon animation, I think it was, she was like, I don't know how to describe it, but I'll probably put it on the screen. I just felt like she was really fun and playful, kind of flirty. I did like that. She was the what's it called, like the announcer during the War Song Festival. Again, personality wise, we do see her personality a lot. She's like very upfront about it, I guess. Story wise, we don't get to know much about her though, like her family, what she likes. We just know that she's like the announcer for the War Song Festival and she's kind of playful. I feel like she kind of manipulated people, but honestly, I was kind of manipulated too. In a more, I just want to know what, does she have family? Does she have somebody she's actually interested in, or is that playfulness because she's like completely single? Yes, I like her design relatively. I still don't like the hair kind of matching the skin. I wish we did a little bit different. And I do like her more than Riss. I feel bad. I keep pushing Riss to low A. Lumont. Now, I really don't remember seeing Lumont in the story. We might have saw him briefly, but if you read like his tales, they're actually really cute. And I like that he values peace and fine art and all of that. I just think he's a sweet dude. And I like that his compassion is like still intact even with the environment that they're in. So I do actually like Lumont more than Mikola, personality wise. Because I can't get behind, like, I just need to know a little bit more about Mikola and why she acts the way she does to know if I fully like her, like fully completely. I do like her. Oops. I accidentally scrolled up, but it looks fine still. Brutus is next. I actually really like Brutus because, you know, he's like the strongest dude, but he's still kind of like through the match. Not kind of, definitely through the match, so that Soren would win. Because he's like the strongest dude, and Soren had to battle him for some reason. I don't really remember why. I feel like it might have been like a challenge, and Brutus could have definitely won, but he let Soren win so that he could get like that like honor. I forgot exactly why he needed to do that, but he kind of pushed Soren in a good direction. He's someone who does good deeds, not in front of a camera. What I mean, like, I don't know how to say that exactly, but he was kind of secretive about what he did in a good way. I'm gonna put him under S because I feel like it takes something special to, because if you have, as like a competition winner, you have the expectation like the next year that you're gonna do better or you're gonna do good. So there's like definitely like people looking at Brutus, and then he was like, you know what, let me step aside for this. And I feel like that's a very nice quality. And then he didn't worry about like his reputation afterward. He just wanted to push the new group of people to the right side, if that makes sense. So Smokey and Murky, I don't like. Okay, so Murky and Smokey, I wish we kind of separate them so I could rate them differently. I like Murky a little bit. Murky. I like Murky a little bit more than Smokey, but I don't like Smokey. Okay, I think Smokey has a very similar personality to Odie, like kind of like scammer. And I feel like they had like the whole potion issue quest, and I don't know, I didn't feel like Smokey had a very good personality, like scammer, fraud. Murky's just chilling with him. I really can't put Murky but what I can say about Smokey in a good sense is that he takes care of Murky, you know. Like that's basically pretty much all I can say about Smokey. He takes care of Murky, even though they're not blood related. Smokey goes out of their way to help Murky, and I do appreciate that. There's definite love there. However, he just hurts other people, and I don't feel like that's okay. Like, oh, I'll stab somebody and then feed somebody else. Like, no, just because you do one good thing doesn't mean it cancels out your other bad things, if that makes sense. And that's why I can't push Shakir higher, because I think he's funny. He did some bad stuff, right? So I just have to put him at the bottom, especially how with the potion you're kind of like, whenever you give someone something to eat, that's like the most vulnerable time. I'm sorry, I'm like stuttering, but that's like the most vulnerable time. And then you're also taking advantage of people's like dreams and desires to win and to be stronger and to be seen as good in the Mauler ecosystem. So I feel like he took advantage of people who were vulnerable. And next we have Kruger. Freddy Krueger. Just kidding. Now, I actually like this guy. He's kind of similar to Brutus in my eyes. I'm gonna put him in S. Because he's the brother of Orson, right? And he wanted to I feel so bad because he wanted to be the leader of the Grimaud clan, um, but he couldn't because he lost the fight. But he does care about the Grimaud clan as like a whole, and he wants to like make the world a better place, which I appreciate. Where's Lumon? Should I put him higher? I feel like I should actually put him higher because I don't know. I just really value peace as a standard. Should I put Kruger with Lumont or should I put Lumont higher? I have to put him below Lumont. I still feel like this is the best order. And then Orson. I don't like this guy. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Orson is Soren's... He doesn't look like this normally. This is how he looks like in the Dream Realm. But, Orson is Soren's dad, biological father. But remember, earlier I said that Soren is adopted, right? So that happened because Orson abandoned him. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't like... That's like the opposite of compassion. That's the opposite of loyalty. Like, oh, because Soren didn't meet your standard at the time, you just like replace him? Like, that's so fake. Like, that's so terrible. I don't even know what to say. I don't even feel like I have to explain that. And I don't remember if he necessarily called the Hypogean, but Burial definitely... the Hypogeans did get to him. No, because... So he couldn't have called Burial, because Lucia already did that. So... But again, he was so obsessed with power. Sort of like Irmir. He was so obsessed with power, he was willing to crush anybody who kind of like got in the way of that. Including his own brother. And son. Like, that's crazy. He's a bad dad, bad brother. Yeah, I don't even feel like there needs to be more of an explanation on that. Like, he just sucks. Again, he didn't call, like, a Hypogean, though. Like, I can't really put him in the E category. Because I feel like E and F are kind of like S and... Like, S. S is, like, E, but the opposite. So it's really saved for, like, the most horrific people. E is still a bad dude, but not necessarily, like, not the top evil. I feel like I have to put him in D. I feel like he sucks. Kind of like Tessio. And then lastly, we have Odie. I don't like Odie. I'm right. I kind of think of him kind of like Smokey, except he doesn't have a redeeming quality. Like, what's good about Odie? Realistically, what good did Odie do this entire time? He stole and then tried to sell us stolen goods. If we remember, like, that whole part when we met him, I feel like Satrana kind of gave us, like, a mission, so that I feel like we had to beat Walker. We had to, like, Walker was trying to get the vision for Satrana at the same time as us, and, she required us to find some sort of gem or something that Odie had because he stole it. I know that they didn't necessarily say that, but that's definitely what happened. And then he tried to sell it to us. Scammy behavior is so scammy. I have to put... And then he has no redeeming quality. Like, what did he do good other than scam people? I have to put him in C. Honestly, I would kind of put Smokey here as well, but he does have Murky, and then Murky's like the good thing. I feel like this is our tier list so far. No E or F. I don't remember any, like, anybody who did, like, anything incredibly bad. Actually, now I feel like I should lower Orson, like, because he sucks. Definitely. I have to. I feel like I have to. I don't know. I feel E kind of feels right. I'm trying to think. I feel like he's just as bad as Tessio. Did I put Tessio in D? I don't remember. But I feel like this is fair. Let me know what you guys thought. And I guess as like a disclaimer, I guess this is even better than I thought. I thought all of the Maulers would be lower than this, to be honest. I kind of surprised myself with this tier list. So this is where I am. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I do like hyper analyzing all of the characters. Please let me know in the comments, what did Seth do? Like, I don't really remember him. Like, was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy? Should I put him lower or higher? Does he have any redeeming qualities? Was there something that you can't get over about him? Like, you would like him, but he did this one thing. And please let me know if you disagree with any of the categories.